Pride has driven us both apart, but words can hardly say. Only vanity would make you try to hurt me. Girl, and I love you, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's the Can You Chronicles, and you're listening to your host Nate, aka Crash, and this is episode 190. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. I hope it's a good week. Just in the weekend here, so if you hear me tapping, I'm just working away. Don't mind the noise. Hopefully it's not too much. So yeah, if you're a new listener, welcome to the podcast as well. If you're wondering what we cover, what the podcast is about, it's not about any specific subject. I don't have a necessary a overall theme, but no, I'm talking about usually I talk a bit about my week. I cover sports, I cover some music, a lot of hip hop mostly. But I will be expanding in some other stuff, other genres too. And I have in some ways, but yeah, usually I'll just talk on those topics, some politics, some news. But sometimes, one or the other I might get a little longer about. So, but just kind of random, a little bit random topics, but consistent. I would definitely say, if there's one thing I cover pretty much every time is some kind of sports, So that's just to give you the heads up. That's pretty much what I do. And then I do have a guest every now and then. I've been having more lately. This week you'll hear me get to, do some talk with Kim Broski. Excuse me, I was just rubbing my nose. But we definitely get into sports really well. He's really big into boxing and some MMA, I would say, and and he has a pretty good, he knows basketball pretty well, so we usually cover those things. So so look out for that. That'll be coming up later. But in the meantime, I want to cover real quick while I'm thinking of it. If you're looking to follow me on social media, you can find me on Twitter at Can You Chronicles, just as it's spelled. And on Instagram, it's GRTN8, Great Nate on Instagram, so you can find me there as well. Outside of that, also, please check out and subscribe to my YouTube, which is Can You Chronicles. And check us out. Got some new videos, and actually the podcast is going to be, it's already going there the last 2 weeks, but you can, you'll now be able, if you like YouTube and you're on there a lot, you could also just check out the podcast from there. Just audio, there's no video, not yet. But yeah, you could listen to it there and check out some of the, you can check out some of the videos I have. I just put up a recent food review video for In-N-Out Burger. Me and my good friend Kurt, we did the video, Mr. Under the City Lights. You've heard him on the podcast as well if you listened for a little bit. He was just on a few episodes back, and definitely check it out. I think you'll like it. And I'll have some more coming up, some more food reviews. It's something I like to do, and I think I'll be doing. I've already done some, but again, I'll be, a little bit variety. Just like my YouTube, it's not centrally focused on one niche of things, but you'll see what's up. But there's enough there for everybody. Check it out. I hope you guys dig it. But yeah, we're not, I don't have tons of content, maybe like some other channels, but I have a good bit. I think I'm on it's like 73 videos / audio. Because I have some other things on there that are just audio with maybe some visuals and stuff. But, like interviews. I have a few interviews up on there that are, audio based. There's no video. But, yeah, check it out. I don't know what else to say about it. So yeah, just another busy week in a very good way. Had some relaxing time, kind of, but not much. But yeah, just getting things done, guys, and taking care of business, so to speak. So really feeling good about that, and just getting on my feet again, in a way, if you want to call it that. So in more than one way. And yeah, it's beautiful. Been beautiful weather. It's gonna be a great weekend. Already is. I wish I could be in it, but I'll be going out and taking a little walk here soon. And I do what I can. Whenever, even if I work, I always try to get out a little bit. For a break. Got to do it, especially getting weather like we do out here, man. You got to get some of that. It's nice. It is nice. But yeah, if you could. Whoever's here, I always like to say these are the weekends. I always think of, I guess I kind of think of that because, especially doing, when I've done Uber and Lyft and all that, I think of get a lot of tourists. So I think of the tourist and I go, man, especially if there was just recently like a bad weekend and now it's really nice. I always think, man, so whoever's in this weekend, oh, they really got to, they lucked out, So that's one of these weekends. So if you're in town in LA this weekend, you lucked out big time, perfect. Definitely get in you'll definitely come and go. And it's your first, especially if it's your first time here. Oh yeah. You're going to have that LA impression for sure. You're going to come back home and go, man, you wouldn't believe it, man. They had 80-degree weather. We take it for granted out here. You do after a while, man. When you live with it a lot, you do start kind of taking it for granted. You don't mean to, but you just get used to it. You've gotten so much of that, and more is there's always more coming. So it's it's something else. But I appreciate it. I always try to appreciate, and acknowledge, how good the weather is, and just really be in the moment, if you want to say. So. Yep, so that's going on. We're in the Sweet 16 round, if you want to talk about a little bit of sports in terms of NCAA, which, again, I know I've said it. If you've listened, I don't really follow it close when it comes to college. But, yeah, it is that weekend. It's March Madness. We're in the thick of it. Sweet 16 is probably the funnest. I kind of think it's the funnest round because you got really good, pretty damn good teams, all capable of going pretty far, at least maybe Final Four. Man, maybe not some of them, but it's just that you have to appreciate it because this is the last weekend. Because next weekend gets that much more tight. 8 different teams, and then it's 4. So this is that. This is that time. I always kind of think it's a really there's just so much to watch. And then it just gets less and less, but. But right now, baseball is about to open, I think, this week in many places, if it hasn't already. Usually it's April 1st. I think they stick pretty hardcore to that day, but which is Monday. And, yeah, so everybody's getting ready for that. There's already been a big fight outside of Padres the other day after a game. I don't even know if they were playing the Dodgers or not, but... a preseason game, big fight out in the street. Somebody recorded, it's the usual shit. Well, there's a whole bunch of bars right there. It's called the Gaslamp District. Now, I don't know if that's it exactly right there, but it's around there. But it's an awesome stadium, guys. If you ever get to go watch a game in San Diego, go to Petco. Or if you're in San Diego during the baseball season, which, obviously is pretty long, definitely I would try to just take a look, see if they're in town, and definitely go check out the game. It's a great park, really nice park. Even if you're not into baseball, it's something to do. And then, like I said, right next to, hopefully there's not going to be fights like that. It was outside anyways. Who knows if they even were at the game. They could have been at the bar, so it's one of those things. Just because that doesn't mean it's always going to be like that or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I guess they're excited. But fights with baseball is such a weird thing to me. I don't know, man. I think growing up, that just wasn't, you didn't really ever hear about a fight at a baseball game, really. I mean, I'm sure they happened. But yeah, there really wasn't that kind of people. It's not that type of fan. It's not typically, you know what I mean? It's just, that's more football, or even hockey's not like that. Hockey's actually, and in my experience at least, I mean, I'm sure maybe there's some rowdier places with fans, but a bit that I've seen, most of those fans are pretty chill, actually. It's not the same. I mean, it may get a little more heated when it's in the playoffs, but typically I don't see those fans going at it. But yeah, football is always the one, more so, or in soccer as well, But yeah, baseball, and that's another one too. Soccer's doesn't seem like it should be one of those, but I think it's just these games, it's all about the emotion and people getting into it so much, whatever sport. And I could see soccer gets a lot that way. They there's only so many games they have, and football's the same way too. So everything means a lot, Baseball, there's too many games. You have so many games, so you shouldn't be that intense, over a game. Oh man. So who knows what sparked this dumb fight? And I can't tell. Like I said, it might have been even amongst their own fans. I mean, so it may not have nothing to do with the game. It could have been just the typical, you're looking at my girl, or fuck you, what are you looking at? Drunk shit. Always it's always with booze. People, you don't have a crowd of people getting high, smoking weed and fighting each other. That doesn't happen. But give them some beer or anything. Even beer is kind of funny that people get fired up, but they do. And but you add that and a couple shots of something, forget it. But yeah, it happens. As long as, I just hope that nobody's got really hurt. Hopefully it's enough where you can kind of laugh. Now. But it's tricky, man. People fighting in streets is not good, because somebody gets knocked out, head hits the ground. That's the dangerous part. It's not so much the person getting, throwing the punch. I mean, a lot of times, it's not everybody out there really could throw a great punch. But it's more the thing, that person, hitting the ground. That's where shit can really get fucked up. So, and people don't think about that, and it could happen. All of us can get angry and get in that position, and now you got this loss, who knows? You can get some real heavy duty shit happen over because you got upset about some stupid fucking game or whatever. Yeah, so just try to keep it cool, and if anything, get the fuck away from all that nonsense if you can. Don't even engage, It's hard. It can be hard to do, ego plays a big part of it. But if you could be smart, be smart. Don't worry about, if you're worried, I don't want to be punked, or you're not in 12th grade or 10th grade. Just move on. If you could move out of it and not deal and not have a fight, don't. I mean, what's the fucking point? So, but there's circumstances. Hey, you got to protect yourself. I can understand that, and and sometimes shit just happens. People get emotional. Oh man, but yeah, so that's going on, and football. Obviously, we're just we'll be coming up on the draft here shortly. I think that's coming up this month, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be fun. Obviously, everybody get fired up about that, which is always, it's cool. But then it's always like, we'll see how they play when they get on the team. That's how I always go with. It's like, it's all exciting, well, and everybody has their goddamn predictions, but then it's like, dude, just this college kid, man, just wait and see. There's such a curve on that, it's a big difference. There's some guys that come right in, but, not everybody, man. It's just the way it is. So, but, other than that, still got some Steelers drama going on, or people trying to make drama. I guess apparently Brown sent a meme or posted something on his Instagram towards Juju, and it's just like, dude, are you with the Raiders now? That shit's gonna have to stop. I'm sure Gruden's gonna get pissed if he isn't already. And matter of fact, his teammates, it's like, maybe he'll stop going on, but it's like at some point, dude, if he's going on about Pittsburgh this, Pittsburgh that, it's gonna be kind of like weird. Like, bro, do you want to be here? Like, you're the one that you could have stayed there, but what's up with all this shit? Like, we got shit to do, man. Why are you worried about them? They're not going to even play each other this year, so yeah. So we'll see, man. That's all. Bell, nothing. That's one thing I'll give Bell, man. At least with him, I think he's thrown a couple jabs here, little things, but mostly, man, he's pretty much shut. Not saying shut up. I'm not saying tell somebody to shut up, but he's just, I think he's moving on so far. We'll see. But it's going to follow these guys, man. You better believe when it gets to the season, especially New York, man, they're going to be watching them closely. And if Bell starts acting up, or any of these guys start acting up on their new teams, oh, man, it's not going to be good. The New York media is going to tear this motherfucker apart. The one little hiccup he gets, the first one, watch what happens. Just look up the New York Post. You'll see it. You'll see it being posted. They'll have a big ass picture of him, some really fucked up thing they said. And yeah, it'll be like that if you're not, performing like they would hope you to be. They're rough. They're just rough up there, man. So he thinks Pittsburgh was. And it's like, dude, Pittsburgh's nothing. Come on, man. Media there is nice. A lot of these guys, they'll go other way. Even if the guy doesn't deserve it, they're pretty good. I mean, there's guys that'll call you out there, and there's been a couple. Mark Madden's been the main one. He's a radio guy out there. Which that's good. I think you need both. You don't want just a completely kiss-ass media. You need somebody trying to be, maybe a little more from the fan perspective, or, just somebody that's more upfront. But yeah, we'll see, man. I don't want to go on about it. It's no big deal, but it's just funny. I'm happy. I feel good. I think I see the Steelers, working out together already, and it's probably a weight lifted off of that room right now. All right, guys, I'm just recording again. Doesn't matter. You guys won't notice anything. So welcome back. I'm back on. Still same day or whatever. Just going to continue on a little bit. So yeah, I was looking at some sports stuff. So the NHL is going to be starting up the playoffs in about pretty much a week. It's a week before the NBA, and they have like 4 games left in the regular season. And the NBA is not far off. Pretty much the same. Couple more games, I think. And so it's going to be that time. And the Penguins, they're looking like they're pretty decent position. for what it is. So they'll be going on. Like I said, overall, I've said before, the Lightning, they're the strongest team. They pretty much, they pretty much could win it all, I would imagine. And, so we'll see. NHL, NBA, NCAA right now, cracking. Don't know exactly all the drama, who's doing what. Like I said before, if you've listened, and I'll keep plugging, but if you want deeper, sports talk or, a lot more coverage or information, excuse me, subscribe also to the Fantasy Sports Network. They're on YouTube, and my friend Gabe Morency, he hosts a show every weekday called The Morning After. So check them out, and it's early, it's like, depending on if you're on the East Coast, I think it starts, I think it's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. East Coast. West Coast, it starts at 6 a.m. So it's like 3 hours long, too. So a lot of good stuff there. Plus, I think he does the radio version or another show in the afternoon. So, yeah. And definitely if you're gambling and all that stuff, he's the guy to check out. He is definitely the guy to check out. So shout out to Morency and Fantasy Sports Network. You could follow Morency too on Twitter at Sports Rage. So yeah, plug there. I'll be doing more of that. We've both been, supportive of each other, of course, and all that stuff. But yeah, definitely shout him out because, it's no beyond just, I know him and he's a good guy. I mean, I'm being real. Like, I think that they do a fantastic job of getting into all kinds of everything. He covers all of it, and he follows it very closely. It's pretty much his life, and he also puts his money where his mouth is, as well as a lot of the listeners and all that. So, and even if you're just a sports fan, it's you'll get. I think you'd enjoy the show as well. So yeah, check them out. Not much else to fucking comment on right now, like I said, with all this, because we're just kind of waiting till the real shit. That's the problem at the end of any, well, not any, but, with these seasons, it's kind of like you're just waiting for it to finish and all that. So yeah, so that's pretty much what's been going on this week so far in sports. Don't have any boxing or MMA to get into right now. Hopefully, get into a little more here soon. Like I said, Kim's going to be in this program, so you'll get to hear us talk a bit and get into some of that in terms of boxing and all that stuff. So keep on the listen. So, but yeah, man, been doing pretty good, man. I'm just been working away and otherwise just taking care of shit and just trying to make been making healthy choices, when it comes to my diet and all that stuff. Just trying to do things right here, guys. But speaking of, also shout out to my friend Kurt again. If you want to check him out, another YouTube to start looking out for. He's just getting his content together. Under the City Lights, it's called. Check it out there. You can go to underthecitylights.com and also look him up on Instagram. He's got a lot of good content, a lot of good pictures, food, and all that. So yeah, gonna keep it going. Plus, he's on. He has a couple pieces also on another food channel, not related to me or anybody, him either. But it's called Big Mouth. I think Big Mike's. Big Mouth Mike, or Big Mouth Mike. I think it's Big Mouth Mike. That makes sense. Big Mouth Mike Media out of Austin. He's got he does food reviews out of there, and he's got a couple of Kurt's on there as well. So yeah, it's just spreading the love, guys. We're just, got to support, got to keep these things growing, and just sharing some content for you guys you might enjoy. Some of you, I don't know, it just depends, but I figure I'll throw it out there. That's what it's for. So, but yeah, just jamming away here, working on this title. It's seemingly going decent. Just doing what I can to help out, and have to kind of sacrifice some weekends, but it's all good. You heard me here. I'm always kind of working. That's, been a lot more of that, lately, but it's good, man. It's really been good. Usually it's been Uber, or some delivery recently or whatever. But yeah, I don't have to, I'm not doing any of that right now, and I don't, it's just got enough hours between everything else. So outside of all these things, yeah, definitely looking forward to some, some hanging out time. I haven't really gotten to do anything for a while, so long overdue for something. But it's cool, man. I'm happy. I'm pretty easygoing. Just spend time, been listening to podcasts, of course, getting back on my schedule with that. Trying to think this week. Right now I'm in the midst of listening to De La Soul talking on Drink Champs. Speaking of some music like I usually kind of get into, but if you don't know De La Soul, well, please do your homework. You obviously are a younger age. If you're my age or older, or you don't even have to be my age, but everybody should know De La Soul. They had a, start off in the late 80s, pretty much 90. It was 89, 90. They started off with a hit single, or ended up pretty, not a huge hit, but a good hit. At the time it was big, called Me, Myself, and I. And definitely was different for the time, and they were, just an amazing group. They were before a Tribe Called Quest, actually. And yeah, check them out, man. If you don't know about De La Soul, definitely. They I've pretty much been a fan since day one, pretty much. I could pretty much say that. I've been a fan since day one, and never looked back. I've seen them a couple times myself in concert. First one was in Pittsburgh at an old venue called Graffiti, which was fucking awesome. It was a cool venue, man. Unfortunately, it's been closed for quite a few years, at least over 20 years, I think, or close to 20 years. And a lot of great acts played there too, but yeah, they were fucking incredible then. And then I saw them at the Key, well, it was called the Key Club then, now it's Oak, over here on Sunset. But I saw them there with KRS, probably over 10, it was definitely over 10 years ago now, for sure, maybe about 12 years ago, I feel like. Yeah, anyways, yeah, they're just amazing. And Prince Paul was at that one. That was really cool. So yeah, dope, man. And yeah, they're just really dope. So, check them out if you haven't. And if you haven't, you're in for a treat as far as I'm concerned. I think they're just amazing. One of their albums that doesn't get always the press or talk, it's they had a song off it, that their lead single called Break of Dawn, but the Balloon Mind State album, 1993 I think it was. That's a good ass album. Check that album out. Definitely if you're jazz music lover. Well, any of their albums are good for that, but that one in particular, I think it's really I don't know, I think that's that album again, I know there's certain albums or certain tracks that'll grab people from different genres, but I think that is an album that kind of crosses some genres. Like, it's a, it is hip hop and all that, but they just did such a great job weaving in the music and the way they just put it together, man. That's they take you on a journey. Each of these, they definitely do that on all their albums. You definitely get into their world. But now their most recent one, the Big Anonymous Nobody, I think it is. I know they got Grammy nominated. That was like a couple of years ago. Now that one I have to really check out, but the one a couple songs I have heard off of it, fantastic. Good stuff. Really good stuff, man. So I'm looking forward to what they got next. They got another album with Pete Rock and I think Premiere or something. The dudes are working, man. These cats from back in the day, they're not just hanging it up, chilling. They're working. Saw another thing, if you're just for hip hop heads, of course, but if you don't know about them, well, if you know anything hip hop, like for real, like you know of them, but shit, his name's slipping my mind right now, but MF Doom. Apparently I saw a thing, he's got 4 unreleased albums that he's done with Madlib, who I'm not, I know about, but I'm not super, I don't know all his stuff, but I'm like, oh my god. Same with MF Doom. I'm not like all into his stuff, but I totally love what he's done and respect him. I've known him since when he was, Zevlov X with KMD, so I go way back. But yeah, man, there's just so much, man. So I'm just really happy to see that, see guys going and still, into it. So that's a little bit of talk. But yeah, the podcast I'm listening to right now, it's definitely pretty cool. Checking that out. Trying to think of any other podcast this week. I just tuned in to Too Short's podcast called Blow the Whistle with his partner KB, aka Kevin Blatt, B-L-A-T-T, who I met just like a week ago actually. Pretty close to where I'm at right now. And super cool guy. And if you want to hear those two learn a little bit more, definitely check out that podcast. And I've listened to like about 3 episodes now. One of them, Michael Blackson, definitely that one I would recommend. But the first 2, the first 2 are really good. So far so good. I'm really good, really cool. I like their. I think those 2 are really good. They're just like, I don't know, they're a good fit, and they've known each other. They're friends. Like they've been, work/friends, for some years now, like quite a few years. So, you could hear it. They're comfortable. They're very, they just fit together good on a show like a podcast format. So, shout out to both Too Short and Kevin KB. Definitely, man. It's dope. And it was really cool to meet Kevin, man. I hope I get to meet Too Short, man. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I definitely been a fan of some of his work. I'm not Mr. I'm not gonna sit here like, oh, I owned every Short album. No. But definitely have a lot of respect for the guy. I've followed him, known about him since forever. Actually, the first thing I heard of Too Short and saw was The Ghetto, that video. So it's funny because actually I think it was that, and then I kind of thought of him as like, oh, he's it's like he's kind of conscious rapper, maybe, he's talking, some message and giving something, and then find out, oh, he's like the dirty rapper. I was pretty young then. I was probably just in junior high or whatever, but yeah, I remember that being the case where it was like, oh, okay. I was like, shit. So, yeah, before the pre-Two Live Crew, Too Short Too Short was the guy. When it comes to dirty rap, Too Short was the man. So, and still holds that crown, really. I mean, nobody could touch him. He's 20 plus albums deep or something. I mean, he's just incredible, man. Started from the trunk of his car. Yeah, if you don't know about him, another guy, man, learn, man, too much. But seemed like a super cool guy, you know, pretty chill, but at the same time, not gonna take any shit at the same time. But yeah, he's cool from what I could tell. But yeah, great podcast. Michael Blackson, if you don't know about him, he's a comedian. He's been, I think his break, yeah, he talked about it briefly, but his his first break was next Friday with Ice Cube, the sequel. And yeah, he's hilarious. If you haven't seen him, go check him out. Catch his stand-up. He's out touring around. And also here in town, if you're in LA, he's at the Laugh Factory a lot. But yeah, definitely, I would like to see him live. Matter of fact, he's fucking good, man. A lot of so much good comedy out there, man. It's ridiculous right now. Such a good time. And I think a lot of cities have a lot of good comedy going on, between that and all that. But here in LA, we're spoiled. And I got to take advantage of it more here soon, because I really haven't. And yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. Just trying to think of anything else really interesting. Just saw Rolling Stones have to postpone their tour due to some health issues with Mick. I think he's alright. It seems like he's alright. Some procedure he has to take care of or got to do, but I guess it just obviously something came up. But yeah, that's a bummer, man. So, but they're gonna, make up for all that. So hopefully, everything works out for them and they can get right back on it. But shout out to the Rolling Stones, dude. Those guys, fucking crazy, man. Those guys are amazing, and that's such a, they've just been such an institution for so long. So I just want to see, just see them keep getting to go, and I don't know, what can you say about them? It's just they're so incredible. They're in their 70s, man, rocking in their 70s. Doesn't look like they're slowing up. I mean, I think they might get to their 80s. They really could, man. They're probably, going to be doing less and less shows, but hey, if they could do it, God bless them. That's all I could say. And they seem just like really cool people, man. Keith Richards, for sure. Just probably the most personality out of them. More public guy, or more, he just seems like he's bit more approachable. But so yeah, so that's something that's going on. Didn't talk about it already, but it's another one I want to talk about a little bit. It's still new and fresh. We'll see what's going to happen. But Woodstock 50 is going down, 3-day festival, and it's going to be taking place close to, it's not I thought at first it was the original place, but I guess it's not, but it's pretty close. Up in upstate New York. It's coming up in August, and I don't know, you guys will find it, look up everything. They haven't released the tickets just yet. I am really interested to see what those are going to be like, but there was mixed reviews on who the lineup is, but looking over it, in my eyes, I think they did a good job. What I could see, I'm like, you know what? I think they're really trying to cross everything. There's like there's probably at least 8 acts from the original Woodstock. They're going to be there. Some people, may not be, well, in a couple cases, it's not the groups. Like, for instance, David Crosby and his group will be there, but it's not it's not CSNY, so, and that's not him. He's stated it. I guess it seems to me, I think it's Neil Young that's got to be the one to make that happen, or maybe it's, a few of the other guys. It's a whole thing. So, but either way, he's going to be there. John Fogerty's going to be there, where he was Creedence Clearwater at the time, but who knows? Maybe he'll kind of have that going on. I'm sure. I wouldn't doubt. And some other artists from that time that I wasn't really aware of or known of, but I guess it was a female at the time, singer Melanie. She'll be there, and and the Grateful Dead and Company, Jay-Z. It's there's a lot of bands and a lot of people. I'm not going to name everything. You guys can look it up, but yeah, that's very cool, man. And I will say this too, man. If you haven't already, definitely would check out their website for the Woodstock. I think they did a great job. I love it. Get some history on the old one. They do a great breakdown, so you can really get an overview. You don't have to watch the documentary. You could just kind of go through that and get a pretty good, oh, this was going on. It's fascinating, really. Because it's almost like those bands, especially then, the way that was going on, everything was just kind of happening. But, I mean, it was almost like they had music going 24/7 practically, I think it was the third day. It seems like the most amazing day in terms of bands and everybody. But, the Who starts the day at 5 a.m. and it's fascinating. But the other thing is, too, they have a fantastic online merch store. So even if you don't get to go or whatever, I even want to get some for a couple things for my mom. She'll appreciate it. But definitely want to talk about that one. And then you have Glastonbury over in England. A little bit different time. Summer concert too, festival. I think it's just one day, but it's going to be Janet Jackson's going to be in it, and one of the Oasis brothers, and a whole bunch of fucking artists too. So 2 fucking huge shows, for the summer. So, hey, if you could make it to any of those, man, go for it. You never know. Some of these things, some of those shows, that's once in a lifetime shit, man. You never know if you can get to one again, prices, traveling, things that are going on in your life. So, I definitely recommend it. Definitely overdue myself to get to some kind of big concert. It's been far too long. But there'll be some stuff soon. There's all kinds of shit going on around here, and got the Hollywood Bowl. That's probably about to start here any moment. I think April or May. I know for sure. So yeah, we're about to get going in LA on concerts. You got that. You got fucking Greek Theater. Still need to see a show there. Seen it the Hollywood Bowl I've done. It's been a while since the last time, definitely. But time to go back to that. I've been there a few times. But yeah, so concert season. Well, everywhere's got, gonna have more concerts, you know what I mean? So yeah, head on out, try to get some concerts. Got to go, even if you got to go to another nearby city for the good shows, go do it, man. So yeah, Coachella's coming up really soon. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I won't be doing anything with it, but I don't know. That one, though, I have to say, looking at that lineup was kind of strange. That was a lot of looking at it and going, I don't know any of these people, I'm really starting to feel like, damn, I'm out of it. But I got to get hip. I need to, I want to know some of the groups, I mean, I think there were some I know, but, generally speaking, just looking quick, you're just like, wow, like, who's this? But, times change. I mean, that's understandable. It's been changing, so it ain't like just happened. But, it's different. The year's going to pass, and you're just not going to see certain groups there, but they have to keep it different, too. They don't want to get stale. You know, they don't want to become, you know, like, Coachella's whack. You know, I have to say, it's amazing how they've kept it up. And it's still the cool thing to go to, you know, even though it's now it's really kind of over the top in some ways, but I'd say, you know what, for the money, and if it's that special to you, and it's your year, the thing you do every year. I mean, I'm talking more for people that are close by here. If you're traveling out to it, that's a whole nother thing, but it's kind of the same difference. But I say, hey, why not? You know, do it right. You know, you're gonna spend money. I mean, depending on how you're doing it, I would say each person's probably going to spend about $1,000 over a weekend between the tickets and, yeah, easily. I'm being very, very light, you know, which seems insane, but, you know, you're at the same time, you're getting so many bands. I mean, let's put it this, well, the tickets themselves, I think the tickets are, let's say they're tickets for the whole weekend. I think it's like a few $100, something like that, right? If you get to truly see 10 to 15 bands that whole weekend, I mean, you're for sure getting your money's worth. You're talking, you know, you spent 30 something a show, give or take. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's worth it. You know, I think that where it adds up even more somewhat is the ancillary, you know, where to stay and the fucking, you know, that could be a very big cost depending what you're doing. You know, food adds up. You know, merchandise, if you're buying stuff, that's going to add up. So, but again, like I said, if it's pretty much your one big show you're going to do in a year, why not? Fuck it, you know. But, yeah, get out to these shows in different places. You got Lollapalooza, that's going to be going on in Chicago, of course. So many good concerts, definitely. All kinds of concerts out there. And that's all that big stuff, you know. You're you know, hey, support your local bands, you know, in your town. See if you could find some, you know, shows like that. Just constantly, you know, try to find some shit. But yeah, I don't know. That's my music talk so far today. So anyways, guys, let me stop for a moment and I'll be back. Hey, back in here, guys. So just gonna keep rolling here. Still jamming away. Almost done. It's been a fast day, actually. So sorry about these taps. I know it's a little distracting, but anyways, man, you know, I'm not going to have a whole lot else more I'm going to add to it at the moment. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I've been listening more to the De La Soul interview. A lot of industry kind of related stuff, you know, in terms of how the record business, you know, just some of the things, you know, how they haven't done right by the artist and they continually don't. Right now, for instance, De La Soul, they their catalog from years ago still isn't available digitally because they couldn't, you know, they just never got the numbers right on the deal for that. And recently, I guess that was coming up again because I guess they got the catalog from another, you know, it's just kind of moved around. So Tommy Boy, their original label, they got the catalog, so they want to put it out, and they just offered this crappy deal where they would get, for the streaming sales side, they would get 10%. They're basing it off the original deal they did 30 years ago, when these guys were just nobody kids trying to get in, you know. So the deal would be 10%, that they would receive 10% on the streaming part. And so that breaks down to, you know, basically a little over 3% per person, you know what I mean? So it's terrible. Streaming already is so low as it is. And I'm sure they do really well, you know, but still that is such a small cut out of that. So they're holding off right now, and it's still in the wings. So hopefully it'll work out and they'll get the right deal that they deserve, or they're going to try to get their masters or something they're in the process of. So we'll see what happens, but you know, it's just what goes on with artists and some of this stuff. And this is constant. It's always been, and it shouldn't be, but it's just the way it is. Or, you know, so guys, you know, if you're an artist out there, I especially right now, you really should just build independent. For real, just build independent. Learn, you know, as you go along, keep learning, get smarter, treat it for real, treat it as a business, make yourself a label, get a corporation, do all the steps. You know, it's not as hard as you think, and especially nowadays, there's so many resources. Matter of fact, number one, get yourself a good lawyer. You'd be surprised. They'll help you with everything. And you could have them be a partner. You never know. You never know. You got a good music lawyer, and he might really like you. You know, you guys might hit it off. He likes your stuff. Or maybe he's already doing something and he, you know, partners up with you. Now you have some money, you know, to get things going or whatever. I'm just giving some ideas, guys, but there's really no need to go. There's no need to go to a label. The need is this. I will say that the need still is this, and the idea is this: is that the big label, yes, if you want to get big, massive exposure quickly, they are. I get it. That is the place you go typically, but really, if you got enough money, and I'm not even talking major money, but if you got pretty good amount of money, you could campaign yourself into a pretty good space. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say, excuse me with the coughing and stuff, is especially when you hear guys like this and countless others, is that okay, you could get signed on and that's great. And I'm not saying don't accept a good deal. You know, hey, if there's a good deal out there or it's good enough to your liking and whatever, I mean, I wouldn't say not to sign it, but you should, no matter what, you should always be working on your independent. You know, I think that because at some point you're probably going to be independent or want to be, you know, that just, it's happens over and over and over again. So with that being said, again, I can't emphasize this, but there's no reason. Yeah, if you're 20, if you're whatever age, I don't care almost what age you are, really, but particularly if you are in your early 20s or young, you know, you're a young artist right now, maybe you're 18, whatever, just do it yourself. Do it yourself, man, but do it. But as you're doing it, really, like, take it serious and create a business. And you'll get the perks of that, and then you'll be in control, and you get all the other things. You know, you could write off things, and I mean, it's going to be way to your benefit. And now it's just easier than ever. You could just you don't need it. You could distribute yourself. You could do everything yourself with, you know, basically some good set of resources and contacts, and obviously, but you know, you need money, you need a budget. But you know, I really can't emphasize enough, because the thing is, these artists out there that are trying to come up, you're doing it yourself out there at you know, that's you know, all these people, you know, these labels, they want damn near, you know, a finished product almost sometimes. And so it's like, why give it to them when, you know, you could do it yourself? You know, it has to make sense. That's all I'm saying. But that's the gist. That's, you know, what I learned, and also what I've seen and personally, you know, just know and seen over the years. And, you know, I've talked about this before, but, you know, and it's in all genres, man. It's not just hip hop. You know, rock and roll deals with this bullshit. It don't matter. Pop music, everybody deals with this shit in the industry. So, you know, I guess I just think, you know, that's to me the future is artists just, you know, really doing it themselves, man. They're already doing it. And I see even more than that. Like I said, with the streaming, I see everybody, you know what? I'd say, hey, everybody have their own streaming. Everybody have their own, like it's coming directly from you type shit, you know? Because that way, but with that, it's going to have, you're going to have a lot of things with it. You know, people want content. So, but that's all right. It's, you know, so I don't know, man. I just think that, you know, it's got to be, there's different forms and examples. And, you know, I think there's going to be even, you know, definitely even better versions of this. I think you're going to have it where literally it's almost there, and it is there in a certain way, but you're going to basically have a record label in your phone. But, and a store, you know, I'm talking like, you know, think Patreon, but streaming and all kinds of stuff, you know, and your merch. I mean, I'd say really that's what, if I'm an artist, like that's what I would be doing. Set up your shop, start building that up along with, but most importantly, you know, making a lot of good music, you know, that's the key. You know, that's the central point, and the rest of it, you know, you make, you know, great art, you know, great visuals, and maybe you're not the person to do that, but you get somebody to do it, you know, or you have somebody on your team, and there's all kinds of people out there willing and looking to do something like that. You'd be surprised. So I hope this reaches, you know, I hope it reaches people that are needing to hear that, or maybe going to get something out of that, you know, but, you know, and that, honestly, I think that goes with anything creative, I think, at this point. You know, it's really, you got to just do it yourself. Do as much as you can yourself. That's where you know, that's where everything's going, and it's been there. It's just now we could do it easier, and why not, you know? Because no company, you know, there isn't a, companies really don't want to pay what you want, you know. Not saying you can't get it, but let's face it, at the end of the day, you know, you're always going to want, if you want more and you're, you know, ambitious, and you're probably not going to, you know, after a while with a company, you're not going to be happy. You know, they're not going to give you what you want. So you gotta build your own thing, whatever that is, you know. So like right now I'm in the midst, I just started a Shopify store. I actually got some help, hired some help to build it out and get it started. Basically, I mean, it's ready to rock and roll right now. I just just got it, and I got to go through, you know, I'm just looking it over, and it looks pretty easy to operate for the most part. But you know, it's a new venture for me and all that, but here it is. I got an online store, you know, ready to, you know, I got products right now, and they can ship instantly, and I don't have to store it. I don't have to hold it. But, you know, if I did have products, I could sell it on there just the same, or whatever. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. And, you know, but I'm learning kind of as I go along as well. But that's what it takes, man. I'm not playing around, man. I got, you know, you hear me. If you listen to this podcast, I'm, you know, doing my work. I do whatever it takes. And, you know, I've always been looking beyond, you know, this is going to be interesting. You know, I haven't done this. I've had, you know, some other things I've dabbled a little, you know, I've done a lot of, dabbling, if you want to say, and that's really, that's okay. And there's lessons you get, but then it also at some point you got to just really lock on to that one thing you want to work on and just really follow through. So that's something I'm about to work on this time with this project. But so yeah, look out. I'll be talking about it once things are in place. But it's pretty cool, man. I'm really I feel really positive, and I'm just looking forward to some things. But yeah, that's where we're at in this world nowadays. It's just we're all, I think everybody's dealing with some interesting challenges and all that. But it just depends what you do, and it depends what you need. But it's crazy. It's not the type of it's really like it's just not a time that you can kind of kick back anymore in a way, like you could just get a certain job and just be like, oh, I'm good and I'll just chill on this. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's never been, but it's just like now I feel like that. Nah, man, you got to keep. It's like you got to keep on leveling up and leveling up. It's like you need as much as you can. You need fuck just a job. You need that. You need your business on the side. You need multiple things. I don't know. And I say, why not? There's so much stuff. It's amazing, man. There's so many things that you can have, like I can have this, let's say like this store. I get the store running and now that's making some profit. Then I start another, and in the midst of it, I could have these, not to get too much in the weeds on anything, but let's say I could have a few AdWords sites. Let's say I have 2 or 3 AdWords sites. What the fuck is that? So you've ever seen AdWords? You've seen them. You've been on Google and you've seen the advertisements on the side and all that. You can tell it says advertising underneath. That's an AdWords. So you could literally have some websites that have some AdWords, and maybe you have I don't know, whatever kind of content, and then you get your driving traffic. You get it pretty pop. You get it a lot of visitors. And you could get it to where it's generating a little bit of money. Maybe, 20, just maybe one makes $100 a month. The other makes this much a month. But, you just keep building and building on it. And then next thing you know, there's people out there, I'm sure, that have them. And I don't know, who knows how much. There's probably AdWords sites literally out there, and somebody's making, per month $100,000 on, for all we know. You know what I'm saying? And you would just see it and just go, you wouldn't even think nothing about it. You'd be like, oh, this is a garbage site or whatever. But meanwhile, they got just super traffic, because it's based on the traffic and all that. So that's just one example of so many. And it's so hands off, So all I'm saying is you got to look and think outside the box, There's so much more than what we've been taught, shown, talked, your family, whoever, the people around you, we're getting a lot of, crappy guidance, whether meant to or not, this, for instance, we're seeing it right now. Like, you have all these college students, you have this college scandal with parents paying, to get their kids in, which it's nothing new. It's only a big deal because now some people got caught, but it's definitely been going on forever. And but that's going to start giving, that's going to start ruining the reputation, or already is, of those schools more and more. And it's already hard enough. Like, you could come out with a master's now, damn near, or whatever. Like, for a long time, for a pretty good long time. I would say up until maybe 2005. I'll put that number on it, pretty much. But I would say up until about that point, if you had a bachelor's, you were good. Like you're going to get a good range of jobs out there, you know. But since then, man, that's like so. And now masters are becoming more common. So it's just it sucks because it's like, of course you want to encourage and all these people to go to school and all that. And now you have all these people and everybody's, achieving and you have so many, people really busting their ass, you know what I'm saying? And now they're getting these degrees, but they can't make shit. They can't come out and make shit, and then they're stuck with this huge, ridiculous college debt. I mean, that they can't get out of. And it's we're in a serious it's a real serious problem. So we're faced with that. You're faced with AI that's taking away certain jobs out there that would be available, and even already they're, even in the midst of that, there's less jobs just because a lot of companies already, they outsource it or, whatever. So you got all these different challenges in a way coming in just with the old model of get a job, go to school, get a job type, that type of thing. It's really like, I don't know, but you do have to do some of that to some degree, you know what I mean? But I just personally, I saw it years back, or I saw it a certain way, and I wasn't, the most, I wasn't the best in school. I definitely could have done better, and whatever. But I just knew with college wasn't really for me, and I just saw that there was some bullshit with it. Even back then, I thought. Well, first off, I think that was the case just because I knew I couldn't rely on my mom was going to pay for it. I only had my mom. I didn't have both parents. But even if I did, I can't say that my dad, even if my dad would have been around, it wasn't going to be paid for. So already I had to think a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So it just always struck me as just like this is crazy. Like, I just don't see the need, to do this and that. So anyways, but then I started, once I started really getting like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I was really interested in music and recording and stuff like that. And, then I got to know, that particular type setup, which was like, certificate, and they'd help you get job placement, all that stuff. So I was like, now that sounds good. You know what I mean? I was like, that's dope. And that's basically what I did get out of it. And here I am, all these years later, and, I've worked for all these big companies and, I've gotten to do so much, and it, when I think about it, it's really, I'm fortunate. I'm all those different things, and there's a lot of other stories of some similarities and with other people in the industry, but then there's some that they did go to school, and they probably went, most of them, they go to film school, or something like, or you'll go to college for cinematography, so they're always going for, of course, being a director, cinematographer. So that's kind of what the goal is, but the reality is that's probably not going to happen. It's very difficult. I mean, a director, you could be a director. I mean, now it's probably easier than ever. Even a cinematographer on your own, you could definitely do it way easier than it used to be. But in terms of like Hollywood film productions with big studios, that's a whole nother ball of wax. You basically gotta get on set, work your way to those positions or near them as much as you can, and then from there you just you basically just keep hanging in there and waiting around till somebody kind of dies or or the opportunity. Basically it just takes some time, and also it's going to be apparent if you're right for it or not. It's going to the cream rises to the top pretty quickly. So you'd be surprised how many people come in one way and then they get into a whole nother thing because it's like either the opportunity wasn't there or they just weren't cut for that other thing they thought they were. So yeah, it's just the way it is. But but what I was going to say is you don't even have to. But then I found out once I got in, basically I didn't even have to do the steps I did. I'm glad I did, but there's people I didn't know. Like, I could have potentially, if I was just, if I was persistent enough at the time, I could have basically came out here, not gone to any school, but I could have applied to, I could have found the studios, got the information. Let's say somebody gave me the heads up on this stuff and gave me a little tutoring, and I could have just literally applied and got a runner's job, and I probably would have at some point. And I had a work history, so that was good. So they would have seen that right away, and I would have got in somewhere probably just on that alone, and then I could have trained up through them directly, and in a way kind of better because you're not already coming in with a certain, you think that shit, because that's the problem too when you go to school. Seriously, you have to kind of almost learn again. It's like, depending what it is though, I'm not going to say it's for everything, but in this industry, or it's better that you're, I think it's almost better you don't know some things. But so all I'm saying is, like, and I know I emphasize this, or I talk about it every now and then when it comes to, I really feel strongly about this stuff because it doesn't get brought up enough sometimes. But if you're out there and you have work ethic at all, and you've whatever you're doing right now, like, don't shit on that. It's really important. Do a good job, and try not to, all you can do is try, because people can get fired for any, all kinds of stuff, but that's not the end of the world if you do. But the point being is, like, you'd be surprised what kind of places you can get into. And I would definitely, this applies beyond my industry. Like, you'd be surprised, man. You could apply for some stuff out there. You'd be surprised what job, you might get. For instance, Google, whatever angle you could do to get in there. Maybe it's a janitor job, whatever. Anything to be close and get it going. But I think those ways still, like, for instance, you've heard this famous stories, and they're real, where, like, for instance, Richard Branson, who owns Virgin and countless other things, probably, but he started in the mailroom at, I think, Virgin Records, or one of the labels at the time, and he worked his way up from the mailroom, became an owner himself, or whatever the case, however that went up from there. I don't know the whole story, but he started like that. That, I believe, still exists out there. It's, like, if you're maybe you work at McDonald's, the best you could do with, if that's all the best you think you're going to be able to do, or you're just in that space at the moment, you just don't have anything else, and that's what it's going to be, that's all right. Just best thing you could do is find out what programs they have to move up in the company and be real serious about it and take advantage of it, whatever that's going to be. And, do as much as you can, because, even because you may not be there forever. You may think that right now or whatever, and maybe you will be there for a little while, but in the meantime, do as much as you can with them. And then if you, maybe at some point later, you move on. But now you have a resume, an even better resume, because you didn't just, you didn't just sit there and go, oh, I'm just going to stay on fries. You went ahead and said, nah, I'm going to be the manager now, or whatever, whatever that next level is going to be. And eventually, I think there's stories like that too, where the person started, there's definitely stories of that, but the person started as they were flipping hamburgers, and then they got to where they ended up buying in the franchise themselves. They did what they had to do and save their money or whatever, and go from there. So it's really up to you. You know what I mean? It's you can't settle for less. You don't want to sell yourself short. You got to give yourself chances. You got to put yourself out there. And that's it, man. I don't know what else to say about that. That's pretty much the message. But sorry guys, I'm just a little focused here on this thing. But yeah, it's so I hope these things, like I said, I say these when I start talking this way, or I'm just trying to hopefully be of some help to somebody out there. That's all I could say. Because it's my way. If this is my little way of giving back for the people that helped me, or the opportunities that I was able to get, or whatever the case may be. This is what I can do. If I could do a little bit of that, and somebody goes, oh man, that really helped me, and then great, man, I'm happy. I'm happy either way. I hope it finds somebody, and maybe it has already. So that's all. But yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy what you have to go through to kind of to really succeed. It's definitely, I think it's definitely always been tough, but I think I just think now it's just even tougher, it really is. And it's less. You don't have to live in LA for it to be. Any city it's tough now, man. Prices aren't. For instance, I used to think all the time about, what would that place be like in Pittsburgh versus here, and I could still do that too. It's definitely not the same, but if whenever I've thought of those moments of going like, oh, I wonder if we moved back, what would it, if I moved back to Pittsburgh, what would it be, this and that. But honestly, man, it's like, well, for sure, I'd really want to buy out there. It's kind of dumb to rent for the prices, but you're going to probably have to start off and rent, no doubt. And then even by the time you buy, whatever. But quite honestly, the range is gotten close. I'd probably still be, my cost of living wouldn't be that drastically different. It would be somewhat, but it wouldn't, not as much as it, you would think, it could be, if it was me, myself, and I just was like, hey, I don't care, I'm just gonna get a fucking, I'm just gonna get the cheapest place, I'll fucking, as long as it's baseline decent and I can live there, and I'll fucking, work on it slowly but surely. Yeah, I could get a really, really, I could get a cheap property out there. But again, you know, it's all relative. Then it's like, okay, well, now what kind of work am I going to do? Well, I don't know. I might have to start off and, you know, starting off, I might just have to do Uber or whatever, or these jobs that are going to be, you know, 15, maybe I'm lucky if I can get 20 if I'm lucky, you know, an hour. So it all ends up getting relative where you're like, well, like, is it any better? It's like, I'm making less money. Yeah, some of this cost is less, but I'm not, you know, you're not seeing any difference, you know. The only thing other than that might be nice is that it's like, it's more mellow, you know. I'd have less, you know, I'd probably have some less distance to cover, things like that, you know. But yeah, cost-wise, it's not as different as it might have been some years ago. You know, I think that's the thing, and Pittsburgh's a good city. That's definitely one of the more affordable cities out there, actually, especially if you kind of know the city and know places around and all that. But so, you know, let alone you start talking, you know, Seattle or, you know, a number of other cities, it's not the same. You know, the cost goes up. So yeah, it's crazy, man. So, you know, I guess unless you're really in the sticks somewhere where it is super, super cheap still, you know, that's just how it is, you know, so yeah, so I'm just saying, like, there's just heavier demands monetarily on things. Doesn't have to be all the way. There's things we could cut. I mean, I think we've created more bills. I mean, you got to think years back. You didn't have, you know, the cable bill was lower. You didn't have internet to pay. You didn't have things like Postmates or Uber Eats. You didn't have Amazon, you know, all these little things that add up, you know, these little tick, tick, you know, whatever. So it's a lot different. So, you know, that's the other thing. You know, we all have to look at what your spending is and all that. I'm not going to sit here and try to give a class on that. I'm definitely not been the best at that my damn self, but you get what I'm trying to say. So anyways, but hey guys, let me wrap up for now, and I'll be back in a bit. All right. Oh shit, he was I think he was from Brooklyn too or something. He was Kid Chocolate or something, or
what's his name? Not Kid Chocolate's real name is not Gavilan. Oh god damn it, I have to look him up, man. But
sure.
Yeah,
Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs.
Okay. But they had a bunch of guys that fought like the shit Pacquiao did. They had a guy back in the day that started at like bantamweight and went all the way up to fucking damn near super middleweight.
Yeah.
You know, he went past Pacquiao, but now when he went up to that high, he got his ass creamed. But he walked the line, dude. He walked all the way up.
Right.
He went past Pacquiao and shit. I think that was one of the little black fighters, dude. Another one of those little guys that
here you go.
Fight a big guy.
1987. So he's still, yeah, he's 32. He's fighting out there right now, yeah.
See? And it's like, look, where y'all going retiring? The only reason you're retiring, dude, is because you got enough money and you really don't, and to tell you the truth, there's really nobody for you to fight. I honestly believe that. There's really nobody for you to fight. But there's plenty of guys for you to fight. It's nothing.
Danny Jacobs has 37 fights, 29 KOs.
That's the miracle man. That's the one getting ready to fight Canelo now.
Nice.
He's getting ready to fight Canelo. That's That's going to be a good fight. Now, I was wrong about the Spence Garcia fight. I really thought that was going to be a bigger fight than it was.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being it ended up being a fucking horseshoe, man. It was a terrible fucking fight.
Which fight?
Terrible. That was the last one, Spence and Jacobs.
Oh,
Spence
yeah.
and Garcia. That was, they built it as being this really huge fight. And Garcia was doing the Pacquiao thing. He was climbing the weights, just jumping weights, saying, I'm going to fight this guy, I'm going to fight that guy. Now, he was running through guys, but he got to Spence, and this is just, everybody kept saying, Spence too big for you, dude. He's too big. And he's a natural at that weight, and you going up to that weight, you had to do some outstanding shit, and he did. It was a terrible fight. Spence didn't want to fight, and Garcia couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
So it was a terrible fight. It was terrible. Spence started saying shit like, oh, well, I was making sure that everybody said I was knocking people out, so I was going to go out there and punish him. Dude, I don't want to see that shit. Don't knock it. Dude, this guy's a little guy. He's coming up in weight. You should have punished his ass. You should have beat him down where when it got to the 7th round, he shouldn't have won no more.
Right.
He shouldn't have made it to the 12th round, is what I'm saying. And that's what Stephen A was saying to him. And he was trying, he tried to polish that up. Oh, well, you know what, dude? I hope your next fight, I hope you get your ass kicked. That's all I said. I don't care. I'm tired of they keep throwing his name and everything. He's another guy. I want somebody to knock his ass out too. But he won't get out. He just won't do it.
Like I
said, at least I know Canelo gonna fight. Gary Jacobs gonna fight. That should be a good fight coming up. Amir Khan versus Terrence Crawford, that's not going to be a good fight because Amir Khan got no fucking chin. That's the only thing that's bad at him. He got no fucking, as soon as he gets tapped on the chin, he's going to sleep.
Right.
That's terrible. But he's a great fighter.
Yeah, he's been going, man. You got to give it to him.
When he wins, he looks so good. He's so fast.
Yeah.
He got this real good. But the thing is, he leaves himself open so fucking much.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna throw, if you're gonna throw like that, you're pretty much gonna take that chance. So.
Well, you gotta have a chin. If you want.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean,
you gotta have a chin. You gotta have a sturdy fucking beard. So when you get popped,
he's been. Hey, man. Well,
when you get popped, he looks so fucking bad.
Well, somehow he's made it.
Huh?
He's made it. Hello?
I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
Oh, I'm breaking up?
Yeah, it broke up.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm right here.
Okay, can you hear me?
I hear you, but it was like that last thing you said, I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you're saying? You asking a question?
No, I said he's somehow, even though he's got that,
I feel you breaking up. Let me go outside. Hold on. Let me go out to the back.
All right.
I don't want to, but ain't nobody over there. Let me go outside. Hold on. There might be these buildings do that shit sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah, that dental shit fucked me up today, man. My joints and shit is hurting. God damn.
No, man.
I'm telling you, boy, you want to fuck somebody up, man? Let's give a motherfucker that teeth. Give a motherfucker that teeth cleaning. That'll stop that shit. Fuck. I'm gonna start telling motherfuckers that, nigga, I'm gonna clean your teeth, nigga. Okay.
You hear me?
Is it better?
I'm good either way. Are you fine?
You're breaking up still.
So it might be on my end. Well, I could call you right.
This is breaking up. This is breaking up a little bit. Like you sound like you're seeing something, you stopping and
No.
Stop going like that.
No, I could call you right back, man.
You call me back because it's breaking up bad. It was fine a minute ago. I was sitting inside. It was fine. Then it started breaking up.
All right, let me call you back.
Outside, I can't be outside because it's too goddamn windy. All right, let me go back inside. Call me back.
All right, man.
All right, bye. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
All right, yeah. I just needed to get the Wi-Fi connecting. I mean, it was connecting, but not like through the T-Mobile shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we were talking about Amir Khan, and no, I was just saying that he, he may have that glass jaw thing, but I mean, he's at least, he's still been good. I mean, he's not getting crushed. So, but I was just looking. McGregor's had 25 fights in mixed martial arts, and then he had the one boxing match, so 26 fights.
Okay. That's still record. I don't think it's enough to quit on. But like you said, I think it's all a marketing ploy just so he can get a really big fight. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing to look too deep on right now. We'll just let things, just see what happens, man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with him.
But.
And then basketball finals. I want it to be the Bucks and the Rockets.
Right.
If I can have those two teams playing in the finals, I will watch the finals with popcorn and chicken wings. If it's going to be Golden State and Boston, which I think Boston's going to take it on for some reason, they're talking so bad about Boston this year, but I think if Boston makes it to the fucking playoff, I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just got that. I got that in my head, and I think that's what's going to happen.
That'd be
but
crazy.
I don't want them in there, and I don't want Golden State in there. I would like to have Houston and the Bucks. That's what I want. So.
Well, there you go, guys. Thanks for listening. No, just kidding. So right now, yeah, it's gonna be Bucks and Heat, Nets, Raptors, Pistons and Sixers, Pacers, Celtics. That's a really nice. That's a nice.
Pretty much how it's gonna be because we only got like about 5 or 6 games left, right?
Yeah, we're pretty close, guys. We're like.
So that's it.
Yeah, right now we're at about. The Bucks have played. They've played 76
games. There's only 6 games left for them.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what's that?
They're in it. Even if they lose these last 6 games, they're still in it.
The Lakers have played 75. Wait, yeah, 75.
Yeah, so they got like 7 more games left.
Mm-hmm.
But they're done. That's one thing I don't have to worry about. I want to see LeBron's big head in the fucking playoffs. Thank God.
2005, man, that's a fucking long time.
What, for the Lakers to be in the playoffs?
No, LeBron.
Oh, he's been what?
That was when he's been on that run since 2005, being in the playoffs.
Wow. So to him, he's really sick. I can see his face is really sick. That's why he's sitting away from everybody, man. And Rondo is like, dude, you motherfuckers is garbage. But they look at these guys like, y'all old, man. Y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all not doing nothing for us. They don't even need to be here.
Right.
We had a good team before they added all these silly motherfuckers.
Of course, man. Of course.
I'm with you. I'm like, dude, I don't even know why he did that big move.
Well, no, I understand why, and I didn't have a problem with it, and but I also, even before it happened, I was like, it doesn't have to happen, but I was like, and then when they made the other moves, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. It was actually not. It looked like something I could see that. It was like, okay, that looks cohesive. Lance Stevenson was funny at first, but you're like, well, he's a professional, man. They'll be fine. And you're on the same team, so unless you start fighting each other for some stupid reason, there ain't gonna be a problem.
But I kind of, when I saw Lance Stevenson, I was kind of like, wow, that was a good pickup. I said,
oh yeah, man, I love that.
He's a beast. I said he's a beast. On
you needed some grit on the team, man. It's
Yes, that's your fucking.
And he could play. He could shoot. I mean, he's not just.
Yeah, that's an enforcer right there, man. That's what I'm saying. He can shoot, and he can play.
Yeah, that's your what's his name to your
that's
what?
Enforcer.
Well, like what?
Enforcer.
No, but like what's his name up in the Warriors? Green.
Oh, Draymond Green. That's your Draymond.
Exactly.
That's your enforcer. That's your guy that picks your fights. That's the one when somebody's in a fight, runs over and pushes the guy.
Right.
That's his job. But he's not taking that job like he did in Indiana. In Indiana, he took that job.
Yeah.
Here, he's not doing it. It's like they got him playing basketball. Like, dude, he's a thug. He shouldn't be playing basketball. I mean, he played basketball, but that's your thug.
He put his gun down for a minute.
Yeah, obviously, man, because that's your thug, dude, and he's not being a thug. He's not being a hard ass.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This team, the Lakers, is just not. They always trying to get a star and Magic and all that bullshit. I don't even know why he said that. I got to bring a star to LA. Yeah, no, you don't. But they did. That's what they wanted to do. And
Magic over there being Cecil DeMille or something, man.
Man, I don't know what he's doing, but if I was a guy on top of that shit, I'd be like, dude, we don't need LeBron over here. I know you're trying to get his ass over here and all this, but We don't need him. Look at our team. Our team is good. We don't need him, man. Let him go somewhere. Let him go to New York. He don't need to be here. But that's just like they were saying, that's the place he wanted to go. And he's LeBron, and they was like, shoot, you can do whatever you want to do, LeBron. You LeBron. We'll take you, man. Take your balls. I mean, so that's all they did.
Yeah, well, it's too again. It comes back to that money thing, man.
That's all
it's too much. It becomes too much to pass up, and
we want to put asses in the seats and get a LeBron jersey with Lakers.
And then also, you know, he gets the woo of the Hollywood people that do want him in their commercials, and so it becomes also a thing of a pressure from there, like, hey man, make sure he gets on the Lakers, you know.
Yes. That's
you know that conversations happened out there.
Yes.
Come on.
See, we and it's so bad as a casual.
Come on, we're gonna give you that insight here on Can You, y'all. Shit.
As a casual fan, I think it used to be better. We had less of the background on the players and shit,
right.
But the sports were better. We had better. I thought the fights and shit were better.
Yeah,
it was all better. Now that we got a background of these guys' lives, we see what they're doing every day. We're seeing what their kids, their wives, who they cheating with, who they eating with, all this bullshit, and it's worse now. The games are suffering. I'm watching a basketball game, dude. I'll turn it on, and it's like maybe two of the top teams. I'll watch it for 5 fucking minutes, dude. How come I'm turning the fucking channel? Because it's so fucking boring, dude. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? They like the two top-touted teams, and the hurt are being rested. Why don't you put this shit on TV? Put the TV, the show, put the Greek Freak on. We know when he's playing, he's going to go out there and act the fool.
Right.
You know? I'm just tired of you guys giving these guys these monikers. Oh, he's a star. They're not doing shit.
Yeah.
They're not doing shit.
Yeah. It's a funky time in a certain way with things, you know. The over celebrating of
nothing. That's what we do.
Of Stevenson's leg breaking thing or whatever, but he stepped on dude's shoe. You know, just stupid shit, man.
To me, it's turning into YouTube. Everything is fucking YouTube now.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm just waiting for the Benny Hill music in the background. That's what I'm waiting for in the background. That's what he does. I'm waiting for it to turn into the screen cropped and some shit go around and going, you're failing. That's a fail. You know, shit like that. I don't see it being like it used to be, dude. I know, like I said, they were showing, I was watching some of the old fights on, and I was like, man, this shit is grainy.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this telecast is terrible. But you look at the new fights, these guys don't fight no more.
No.
They don't fight. Nobody's going to try to knock somebody's head off.
No.
They go in there and pity pat around and, hey man, don't hurt me. I mean, you slap me. You hit me too hard now. Ooh, it hurts too. Don't hit me. Oh my God. You know, I hate to see a fight, and at the end of the fight, all the guys do look sweaty. I hate that shit. I want to see a motherfucker with a big swole up eye, his face all puffed up, and be like, yeah, I did my best, but he got to me, you know? That's what I want to see. I don't want these guys like, hey, man, you know, I guess I'll do better next time.
Well, I wonder, though, is like the cut, man, and the compression and all that, has that gotten perfected more or something, too?
I guess, you know what, that's the big thing.
Maybe to some degree, you know, I don't know.
They are. You get a cut now, and I've seen the cut stop. No more blood comes out that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, right. You know? Well, they're using better shit now. Yeah.
They're using that. They got this what they call it is a coagulant. You put it right on the cut. You squeeze down on it with that metal, and I'm telling you, it'll bleed a little bit more, but you'll see it bleed like when you're sitting there and they pour water up, and then you see like a little drop of blood come down.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like, damn, man, that shit. But back in the day, you got to cut. They stopped the fight.
Yeah, that motherfucker might pass out or die. You know.
But nowadays, these motherfuckers are fighting, and the guy can go, I can't see. I've never seen that before. Mm-hmm. I've never seen a fighter go, man, I can't see. I've seen a fighter go, hey, man, just wipe the blood out my eyes. I get to this shit, man. I'm good. I can fight. There's no more of those Rocky guys.
No
more of that shit where a guy gets in there and be like, man, you know this guy's killing you. I got him, man. I got him.
Yeah, no, there's not that. Nobody wants to go. Nobody's going, I'm going to death, you know, attitude. You know, there's not.
we're going in there, dude, and I tell you what,
somebody could die and shit. Yeah.
Somebody's going out on a fucking stretcher.
Yeah.
It's either going to be me or him. It's not like that no more.
No.
They go in there, first they go in there licking each other's nuts, which is like, I don't get that either. You know, they praise each other. Well, he's a great fighter, and I just want to have this great fight. No, it's be like, hey, dude, I'm taking my belt off. I'm spanking your ass. And when I see you on the streets, you better run. Every time I see you, you better get them up, because I ain't going to be up. They don't have that attitude no more.
No,
now,
they don't have it.
UFC still has that attitude.
Right.
And you still get some shocks
and the
in the UFC.
And the WWE, motherfucker, but, you know.
Oh, man, the WWE, you wonder, how is this shit still surviving? How is it surviving?
Man, they kill it, though.
All the steroid shit, motherfucking killed his whole family.
Oh, they died. Yeah,
all the bullshit. The UFC is thriving.
But you know what? It's made. It's like I think because it's made even wrestling's fake or whatever. But it's like, dude, it may be fake, but man, look at the path of all these guys, the death and all that stuff, and oh my god, they're hard. I mean, they've got their reputation's more hardcore than anybody. You know.
I can't say it's fake. I'm gonna say it's orchestrated. To a great, it's orchestrated.
It's orchestrated, but they're fucking doing shit. But those guys but those guys in the guys now are still doing shit. But I'm just saying, especially in the lower ranks, once you get below, that shit hasn't ended, But even still, even the professionals now, it's still shit going on. It's tough. It's not like it's not, but. Those guys from, the Jake the Snakes and those era, I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Those guys were fucking...
When you go back and start talking about Jake the Snake, think about how many at that time, when Jake the Snake was popular, it was 50 different organizations for wrestling.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
That shit got trimmed down to 5, but I remember you turn on a channel, and even now up here, dude, they got some shit called Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
This shit comes on every fucking Saturday night. I'm thinking like, what is this shit?
Is it the one here in Hollywood?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's called Ring of Honor. It's called Ring of Honor.
I want to go to one of those, man.
But dude, I want to go see I was watching one of them with the girls, dude. I said, you know what? I'll go to that. I'll watch that.
Hell yeah.
I'll watch that fluff shit. I don't give a fuck.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
This ain't Glow anymore. These bitches be woo.
Well, actually, Glow was actually there, so fine. Bro.
No, there was some.
But you know what? No.
But
I went back and watched some of that shit, dude. I guess my TV must have had a distortion.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't look that good.
That's what I'm saying when I looked at it too again. I remember it in a certain way, but it's like I looked at it, I was like, nah, it wasn't that good, man.
I was looking at it going like I always go.
But they were fun, man. They were fun.
They were fun.
Yeah, they did a good job. Like, actually, even looking at that now, I was like, you know what? They were fucking... And then watching the documentary on them, I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, that was wild.
I didn't know they were, like, all... Like, it was just these regular people. I was like, damn. I mean, it's some... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I watched Where Are They Now?
Yeah.
And I went to Glow. And Danushka, who I thought was a fucking Russian chick, ain't even Russian.
Yeah. She was, like, from Michigan or something.
Yeah, she's a regular white chick. I'll get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are dead, though. Like the big chick, Mula, but one of the other chicks, the Earth, Mountains, whatever, the mountain chick, she died like soon after Glow was finished. I was like, wow. Wow. The big Samoan chick, I was like, wow. But a lot of them were like you said, they're just regular people. Half of them, they say they're from Hawaii and shit. Motherfuckers from goddamn Glendale and shit, man. Get the fuck out of here. But it's just, this, when you watch that old stuff, it's just fun. But I think, man, my eyes must have been playing tricks on me because
I'm telling you,
they looked a lot better when I was watching on that little 13-inch screen.
Man, I'm telling you, I think we were just imagining something too,
It had to be. Them boys didn't look that good. But that's
it's something about the whole music and everything. You're like, it's Glow.
It was always a tight outfit.
You get excited.
They had a black chick on WWE, or it's called WWF back in the day. Oh, she was fine. Oh my God, big old butt, just fine. But she didn't wrestle much.
Yeah. They didn't. Well, it was way less of it back then on the actual, but they did have a little bit. But
they had few bad broads in the original WWF. Like
oh yeah, they did.
They had Stacy Keibler. They had a couple other broads that was like, God damn, you fine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really look at them because by the time wrestling got to The Rock and all those, I was already out of it, dude.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like Junkyard Dog.
I was all the way to like the Rockers, and then
the Rockers.
like 90. Yeah, I was pretty much 92, 93. I was starting to like dip. I was getting older where I didn't care about it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we used to play in the yard.
But I fucking love. When I loved it, I mean, I was, man, we were.
Oh man,
dude, we had rings all over the goddamn place, man.
But I never got a chance to go to an event.
I did twice. I think it was 2 times, man. It was dope, dude. Macho Man and everything, yeah. Fucking Macho Man and Dusty Rhodes. Hello? Oh, fuck, man. Sorry, guys. Just lost Kim again. Oh, I have an internet problem, that's why. Great. Well, we keep it rolling. I don't care. I'll just fucking... Well, just give it a second, guys. It'll about to catch on here in a second. But you're listening to Can You Chronicles. I'm your host, Nate, a.k.a. Crash, by the way. I didn't introduce, but I'm just going to throw that out there if it's somebody new wondering what kind of conversation they're listening to. No, I already said that before here probably, but I'll just say it again. So let's see. Okay, I should be able to call him here in just a second. But yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Can You Chronicles, on Instagram at GRTN8. And here we go. Let's give it a shot. Hopefully it'll work. This is crazy, man. Ugh. My phone. Here we go. Sorry for the interruptions again. I think we're going to get them on here just in a second.
Yeah, man.
All right. Hey, sorry about that.
No. It's good.
Yeah, that's my, that was my shit. But, so we were talking about, the
wrestling back in the day. And
yeah.
And that's pretty much everything we do now. And I don't know why we just don't call ourselves back in the day, because that's all we do is talk about how we always talk about how the way it is.
Well,
now,
I can't keep changing names, man. It's Can You Chronicles. I'll throw it as the title.
No, it can always be Can You Chronicles, but I'm just saying, like.
No, I'm just saying. No, I was gonna say I titled this back in the day or whatever. This one.
Perfect.
Sure.
Perfect. Because that's pretty much what we always talk about. We talk about how the music was, how everything was, how shit's changing. You know.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I mean, I was talking.
Oh, we're not the only ones. Trust me.
I was talking to this guy, and I really would like to get him on the podcast. He's more like he had me really. I used to watch a lot of that Ancient Alien shit.
Yeah.
But he watched it a little bit better than I did.
Sure.
Because he came up with a fucking thing. He said, you know what, dude? He said, you know, those ancient Egyptians were fucking around, you know, getting all this gold and shit. What do you get all that gold for? You know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, now I'm thinking like, wow. He said, the thing is, first off, look at the pyramids. How the fuck did they get here?
Yeah.
You know? I'm thinking like, yeah, that is some weird shit. And that's like, and if you think about it, they didn't have technology to build that shit. But anyway, he was saying that whoever the engineers who came here before us,
right,
they needed somebody to mine the planet.
Yeah, they're called the Anunnakis.
They couldn't do it because their suits were too heavy or whatever. So what they did was they created us to do it. Because if you look at the ecosystem, we don't fit in. And he was telling me this shit. I'm looking at him like, God damn, dude, I wish you could come on. I need to have me and Nate to get together because we have an awesome podcast.
Yeah, that'd be a good one, sure. Absolutely.
I'm just saying, me and him was talking, and we talked about.
Well, that would be if I came up there, probably easy since he's there, right?
Man, like I said, you gotta come up here, dude. One day.
No, I got it. I want to come up, man, for sure.
Yeah, we gotta do it. Cause I gotta come back down there because I don't want to talk about that right now.
Yeah. No. Hey guys, just gonna be finishing up here with the podcast. So sorry, I'm just actually here at home. I hope that shouldn't be too bad. Kind of got a pretty good feel for this thing now, as far as the recording levels. So I'm here. Just got home a little while ago. Had a long work week, continuing on. It's the never-ending work week for me right now, which is fantastic. I can't say it enough, but yeah, it was a short day. I didn't work a whole lot today, just like 6 hours. So, but just gonna jump right into it. Real sad news today here in LA. Rapper Nipsey, sorry. Forgive me. Nipsey Hussle was gunned down outside of his store in South Central. He's only 33 years old. If you don't know much about him, definitely I'm sure you're going to be hearing tons. And yeah, definitely learn about him and listen to his music. Of course, but regardless. Sure, most people will realize pretty sad circumstances all the way around for sure with it, and I don't even know what to say. It pisses me off, man. It really does, and it's one of those where you're sad and you're pissed. It's crazy. So I'm definitely was a fan of him, but not like. I'm not going to sit there like, oh, I was the biggest one I didn't go to shows and all that stuff, but definitely always from day one when I saw him come out, I was really like, oh, I like this cat. It was really cool because it was like, I'm trying to think, I think, yeah, for sure. He was before YG. Yeah, he's kind of like I would say he's like between YG and the game in terms of like his age and coming, So, but he came out and it was real. You knew that he was making like a real come up, so to speak. He just had heart. I don't know, some about him that I just read it all the way from the beginning. Like, oh, I like this kid. And, not usually I would think this, but it was pretty quickly. I was like, I don't know, it just came to me like he's gonna be around, and I wouldn't think that for just any guy out there, but he was one of those guys, and sure enough, I was definitely right on, and he did obviously more than maybe I would know or expected. I'm actually, I've realized it more recent, but. It's one of those things where like, damn, I wish I was kind of watching him closer from early on. But I was always aware of him when he was coming out then and then continuing on and then, seeing where he's come to, recently. It's just like, man, so to have this go down and the whole nine on a beautiful Sunday here, man, it's beautiful. 80 some degrees. Like little early taste of summer, and you have shit like this go ruin it all, And I have mutual friends that definitely were close to him in the business, and in the business, but also outside. It may be a business and stuff, but like all the West Coast artists it's the same. Any artist anywhere really, in hip hop particularly. I'm just talking about hip hop, but it goes into other genres too, of course. But it's really like a family, and so anybody working at the radio stations or DJs or anything like that, they get to know each other pretty well. They see each other a lot, And even so, you're getting to know these people through their music, and everything. And more than that now, you're seeing video, a lot of great interviews. There's a lot more documentation, versus maybe years back. You got the tweets, you got everything, So, yeah, so rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. And I don't know what they're going to come up. They're making it so-called gang related, but people aren't quite buying that. There's people jumping into the kind of a conspiracy realm because he's working on a documentary for Dr. Sebi, who was a natural, like a healing doctor, and he actually cured AIDS and fought the government on it. It's dude, yeah, he's gonna be, right now he's trending. That guy's name, Nipsey, Dr. Sebi, just who I was saying. So if you're on Twitter, you're going to be seeing that. Well, at least here it's trending. I know that can vary depending where you're at. But, so people are getting into that. I don't know, man. I don't like that, jumping into that right away instead of just like letting the dust settle, and seeing what's really going on. But, people are going to come up with stuff, and you have people that are also just trying to get attention out there, so they'll say stuff. There's a video of a kid on Instagram. I mean, he's out here in LA somewhere, obviously, but like he was on the freeway, but he's trying to say he was the one that killed him. And it's like, yeah, so you're going to hop on Instagram and do that, Even the dude that was talking to him was saying that, because I don't think he knew him. He just jumped in on this chat. I guess you could like video conference on Instagram almost or something. So I'm sure, again, if you're paying attention to this, or now maybe you're going to look it up, especially on Twitter, you're going to see all, pretty much all what I'm just talking about. But, yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. This has happened so many times now in hip hop. But it's been a while since we've had, especially a cat like him, of his significance and respect from so many people. It's a big deal, man. And also where it happened, that's also sensitive because you got all this gang stuff. So, it may not have been gang related. Or it could, and that makes things more complicated. So hopefully, cats are trying to communicate and not just jump right to like let's get this, go after these cats, or there's already been some shit going down, so that's gonna happen because you got hotheads and you got, I don't know. I mean, it just depends because it becomes all about the leadership and, who's going to listen or not. I don't know. Because, cats will get ahead of themselves, really, when there was no need to. You're out there, retaliating and trying to get somebody that's not even there, and then you're just hurting somebody else that didn't need to happen to. It has nothing to do with it. So that's the whole thing. So we'll see. But perhaps, nothing crazy might, it doesn't mean everything got to go crazy. It ain't going to be the LA riots, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure there's going to be some incidents out there. So be careful to all my friends out there, my family. I got people all over this city. So it makes me think about it don't matter. It has nothing to do with being involved with anything, because you could just be in the wrong place. I mean, I'm in LA all over the place sometimes, so, you know, I could have easily been around all this today. Well, I mean, maybe not today because I wasn't going to be on that side of town for any reason, but it could have, you know, it could have been the case. You know, just being with a friend and being out there, or, you know, not saying anything would happen to me per se, but you never know. I mean, anybody close to that, I mean, who knows, man? They could have been a whole nother day for them, but they just happened to be there. They ended up, something changed in their plans, and then they end up doing that, and then something like that happens. Like, that's crazy. So, if anything, it should also, you know, these are the type of things, hey, you know, get your attention. Love who's close to you. Enjoy your moments. Enjoy your life, because this is how fast it can happen. Done. Real fast. Yeah, so yeah, I'm on Twitter right now, scrolling through. There's just every all kinds. Every other tweet at least is pretty much Nipsey related on my feed. So, but oh man, I don't know what else to. There was something else I wanted to get into. So let me see if I can find anything. Yeah, there's just so much love and things outpouring towards Nipsey, man. It's really hitting everybody a little, you know. My Instagram's crazy, man. Every artist posting a picture of Nipsey, or they're with him. So, you know. Shout out to Mars Jackson. He's a great artist, upcoming artist out of Pittsburgh. Please go check him out. Support him. It's really good. Got a cool vibe. Got great music. He's got a nice little label that he's working with there. Shout out to him. He's been definitely hit hard by this news. So, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. So, anyways, oh man, I gotta go to this. That's 420. Crush Drew 10th anniversary show. Ice Cube, Bone Thugs are headline. Oh, I'm sorry, Warren G, Ice Cube, Bone Thugs, Mac 10, E40, Too Short, DJ Quick, The Dog Pound, and MC8. Damn. That's dope. That's dope. Definitely gotta fucking go to that. I'd love to go to it. I should try to go to it. That's actually the celebration day for Can You Podcast, for the 10th anniversary ourselves. So hey, that's fitting. Go and I can go and fucking podcast from the Whew. Okay, so excuse me, guys. A little puff, you know. That could be possible, man. That would be really dope. I could podcast outside before the show, after the show, shit, even during. Yeah, maybe not during, but yeah, that would be dope, man. I would like to go to that, man. Where is this at, anyways? K-Day's doing it, right? I'll check this shit out, but yeah, man, it's just crazy. It's crazy shit going on out there, man. Oh, that was what I was gonna say. I just saw a post. I retweeted it. Let me read it to you guys. So yeah, if you want to see everything, well, I'm not. Well, I reposted some things, but yeah, follow me on Twitter at Can You Chronicles, just as it's spelled here. Sorry, touching shit. Here we go. What do we got? Crush Groove. Where the fuck is it gonna be? Oh, the forum too? Oh man. That's dope. What time, I wonder? It's probably an all day. Or, I don't know. Maybe it's night. It's Saturday, so... Shit. Yeah, it'll probably be... Yeah, it's probably going to be regular. 7 o'clock or... Yep, 7:30. Woo! Woo, that's going to be dope. Oh, man. How much are these? 75... 60... Yeah, you can get tickets $50. Okay. 70... Even 75, that's not bad. Not at all for that. Shit. $100 to be on the floor, that's cool. But you know what, you're better off just up a bit. The forum overall, man, forum's fantastic. There's really not a bad seat. Even if you're up high, it's just right, you know. It's a good setup. It's not like you're not really as high up. It kind of goes out. It's nice, man. It's a nice it's why it's been around all these years, man. And okay, alright. Well, I'm just gonna have to make that decision or something here soon. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I don't even know what to say, man. It's like, this shit is just wild, man. To say the least. So, I don't know, man. I just hope people be safe out there. I don't know. I just hope not a whole bunch of violence comes out of this, you know. But we're in crazy times, man, to say the least. Real crazy times. Real fucked up times. But yeah, I was just going to say, but this Dodger game, I guess this dude... oh yeah, let me pull this tweet. Let me pull this up. Sorry, I'm just all... I know I'm bouncing around, guys, and all over the place, but it's just been... You know, been crazy. So, let me get focused a little. Let me go down. I know I'm reading... Okay. The tweet is, who's this from? She's a reporter, I think. Yeah, CBS LA. Christy Fajaro. So I'll give her props. A father and husband from Eastvale is now on life support after being punched in the parking lot of Dodger Stadium. Now his heartbroken wife is hoping you could help track down the suspect. So I retweeted that. And they got a picture of him on there in the hospital. That's messed up. So it's, you know, it's just it's just so sad, man. They you know, this fucking fighting at games and shit. And look at this. For what? What the fuck, man? I never... All these years I've been out here, you know, right away, you know, I heard about it, you know, about, you know, fights at games. And, you know, I kind of saw it happen a little bit. Or, you know... I mean, thankfully, all the games I've been to over the years, it's been a while since I've been. Thankfully, no problems. You know, thank God. You know, but, yeah, these are the things that... And it happens a lot around opening day. And, you know, I know it's not just here, but it's more... Definitely been more on the West Coast. And it's really stupid. To say the least. It's fucking... pathetic, man. It's really fucking pathetic. And it's like, it's fucking any sport it shouldn't be, but baseball, come on, man. Come on, what the fuck are you doing? So I don't know, man. Be careful if you're out there at the games. I mean, what are you gonna do? Hopefully you got a good seat or you're just in a good section or whatever the fuck. But I don't know. I don't even know anymore what to say. Go to, you know, I mean, just, hey, with caution, I guess, you know, to go to anything anymore. So yeah, I just, you know, sorry. Yeah, it's another bad story here today, man, and that's terrible. That's right there with dude. With, you know, that's right there with Nipsey. To me, definitely for that family, it is. This guy's on life support over a game, over getting punched. I mean, so, you know, that there's no guarantee. You know, hope God, you know, hey, I'm praying for the guy, or I hope he's going to be, you know, able to recover. You know, but there's no guarantees, man. So that must have been that was the day game. It's Sunday. It's always a day game. So again, out there in beautiful weather, beautiful day, and you want to, you know, people want to, oh my God. I mean, it doesn't matter. This shit happens in all kinds of weather, but it's, especially when it's nice though. You don't have this, you know, guaranteed. If there was a snowstorm here, a rainstorm happens, you don't have it happening. You get a good rain cracking out there. Who's fighting in the rain? You know, not saying it doesn't, but no, you gotta wait for a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? So. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I'm gonna go on about when it comes to what, you know, with bad news. I don't want to keep going on and on. You guys get the point. But what else? So to try to lift it up, I don't know. I don't know if I can lift it up at this point. I think I should just finish the podcast. I've been going on enough here. Hope you guys enjoyed, you know, got Kim on for a little bit there. So, you know, I was hoping to get him on a bit longer, get it back on, but it's just been really difficult to get, to get him on, and there really is no reason for it. And, you know, not to be extra, but yeah, Kim's gotta get it together for real. So that's all I'll say. I'm not gonna make any other bones about anything. But again, appreciate you guys. Thank you again for listening. Keep tuning in. You know, follow me on Instagram at GRTN and the number 8, and at Can You Chronicles on Twitter, and of course ilovecanu.com. The YouTube channel, all that stuff. So that's it. You guys have a good one, and I'll be back next week. Peace.